The fact that you are in courtship today doesn't mean it will end up in marriage. People should use their head instead of their emotions. Anything that you are not able to start during the courtship becomes very, very difficult once you become husband and wife.
There is a goal in Christian courtship, just like any part of your life as a Christian. And the goal is 1 Corinthians 10:31. That whether you eat or drink, whatever you do all, not some of it, for the glory of God.
The fact that you are in courtship today doesn't mean that it will end up in marriage. That's why what we'll be sharing with you, the guidelines for courtship in particular, and things you need to watch, you need to pay attention, because it is not every courtship that will end in marriage. Yes.
I remember when I finished secondary school, I was already a child of God, and I didn't have any boyfriend, this in relationship. So during holiday, I used to gather youths in the church and teach them. And at that time, God told me that I was not going to marry my tribe. That was the first thing. That I was not going to marry my tribe. And he like asked me to look around in our village. That did I see any committed person to him? But later when I went to tertiary, I think I forgot that this thing. And then I came into a relationship with a tribal man, not from my very village, but he happened to be my mother's friend's son. And so my mother was very excited about it, very happy. It will further cement their relationship. And a gentleman, tall, nice looking and everything.
A lawyer in the making.
So that time, I was seeking God, praying and so on. After some time in the relationship, well, I had told him my principles. I had told him I had a vow over my head, right from JS3, that no man will see my nakedness. So I had told him that anything to do with premarital sex does not arise. And but one morning I was having my quiet time. And my reading was in 2 Corinthians 6, from verse 14 to 18. And I wasn't like praying about life partner, but the question was, or the instruction was, this man you are going out with, it's not, you are quoting, it's not my child. So it cannot be your husband. It was so clear. And I said I was sorry before God. Because a gentleman, he had not done anything. At least he was not drinking, to my knowledge. He was not doing anything. And after that, he came to visit. There was no telephone to call and say anything.
Yeah.
So he came to visit, and I went to escort him. So I now told him that, sorry, I cannot continue with this relationship. He said, what did he do? I said, he didn't do anything. But God is not with me in it.
Yeah.
And he cried and cried. He went and wrote a 10-page letter telling me how he was in the bathroom. And suddenly there was thunder, lightning came into the bathroom, and he was hit to the ground. He fell down and he had a voice. And that was how he repented and surrendered his life to Jesus and everything. So 10 pages. So I opened the pages before God. I said, God, what is this conversion about? Is it conversion to you or to where? He said, this is conversion to you, not to me. So I now wrote back just a simple letter. Thank you for your great testimony. May God guide you to your life partner. That's all. So that ended that.
Since our own perspective is Christian courtship, and I had already said that people should use their head instead of their emotions. What will you be doing as a Christian? But before then, I want you to know that Christian courtship is between two Christians. Between two Christians. You know, if you will have godly courtship, it means that the person you are courting must be a child of God, a committed child of God. And I want you to note that you will marry your type. If you are not a serious Christian, God will not be so careless and fear to carry a very serious child of his to give you. So if you want a godly person for a wife or a husband, be godly yourself. Be godly yourself. Because I want you to note that two people that are alive with hot blood flowing in their vein, I want you to note that there will be temptation. I want you to note it. Like my wife and I, when we were courting, of course, we had moments where the flesh would like to take over, but we resisted that temptation. Why? Because one, we knew we were children of God, and there was no place for that in that relationship. So we'd like to give you some guidelines that will help you to have a very meaningful courtship that will actually prepare you for a meaningful Christian marriage. The first thing that you need to do after you have found the person that you believe that God is leading you to spend the rest of your life with, the next thing is in your walk together with the person and with God, you know, prayer is very key. You need to learn to pray together. You need to learn to pray together. Another thing that you need to do during courtship, you know, apart from discussion and other things, you need to study the Word of God together. You need to study the Word of God together. Let me say that apart from prayer, you know, and studying the Word of God together, you need to also plan your family, because that is part of that period should be used in you planning, you know, the kind of family you want to have. What kind of family are you envisaging? And how do you get that kind of family? I know that during premarital counseling, I listened to many young people saying, I want to have a family where the name of the Lord will be honored. You know, I want to have a happy, peaceful home, a home where there is Bible study and prayer. And then I asked them, are you doing anything in that regard? They are not praying together. They are not studying the Word of God. But they want to come and begin to study the Word of God, you know, in marriage. Let me say that anything that you are not able to start during the courtship becomes very, very difficult once you become husband and wife. Now, another thing that you need to do, you know, during courtship that will help you also is to avoid being in seclusion. Avoid being in seclusion, where you are in the room with the girl or with the boy with the door closed and windows closed. Do you know that even if you are praying, nobody will believe that you are praying? Nobody will believe that you are praying. Avoid that. Learn to walk around, learn to sit in the open and to have an open discussion with each other. And, you know, being in seclusion is a temptation. Is a temptation. That's why in the beginning I told you very clearly, don't focus on the emotional aspect of the relationship, because many people did that. After marriage, you know, now you have each other. That will no longer be an issue. But then one of the things is that you will discover that you are not used to discussing anything with each other. So begin to cultivate the habit of making, you know, discussing things, issues with each other. Now, another thing that you need to do also is to attend fellowship together. Go to fellowship together. You can also go to function together, just to help you to know, you know, the kind of person that you are actually marrying into, or you are going to marry in future or in the nearest future. Like when you attend function, even the way the person behaves will help you to know the kind of person he or she is. Is she the type that can fight because the food didn't reach him? Or is she the type that can fight because the food didn't reach her, or she can fight, you know, to collect a bottle of Fanta? You know, you get to know so that you correct each other along the line. Correct each other along the line. That, would you like to say something?
Yes. Apart from studying the Word of God, you can find good Christian literature and read together. Purpose-driven life. Things that will guide you to know that when you don't have a purpose, you are likely to make a shipwreck, you know. And there is a goal in Christian courtship. just like any part of your life as a Christian. And the goal is 1 Corinthians 10:31. That whether you eat or drink, whatever you do all, not some of it, for the glory of God. So always ask yourself, this thing we want to do now, will it glorify God? Will God be honored in it? You know, you need to also discuss your basic beliefs about sin, the concept of sin of each other, concept of salvation, holiness, you know, church, which church to attend. Maybe you are from different denominations. Where will you attend church when you are married? Will everybody go to their own? You need to discuss all these practical issues, even about further studies, where to work, even living together. Whether one can be in Lagos, one in Jos. Is that how you want your marriage? Many people are doing marriage that way today, and it's not working. There are people, all the restaurants and bucaterias are for men whose wives are not present. And all this living apart is not the best. In the world, they say love is blind. But for the Christian in courtship, your love is not blind. Your eyes must be open to see and tell yourself the truth. And tell the person you are courting the truth.